Hi, I'm Ree from mummyoffour.com. Welcome back to my channel and a highly requested kitchen tour. So we're going to be having a tour of our kitchen that is in our kind of newly remodeled house. We did a start to finish renovation project. So this kitchen was just an empty yellow room when we had it. So I'm going to show you all around the kitchen, but also not just that, we're going to go inside the cupboards and we're going to look at some kitchen organization, some kind of tips and things for how to store things to make life just that little bit easier. If you are new here, welcome. Please subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 7 p.m. I do lots of home and organisation content, as well as speed cleaning, hauls, vlogs, parenting tips, tricks, hacks and advice. I hope you will love it. I would love to have you as a subscriber. So we're going to start over here and then work around this way. So starting down here, we have got plates and things. So these plates are from IKEA and they're just lovely. They're inexpensive and I just think the colours go really nicely with our new house. That's the top shelf and that's just really easy to grab if the children need plates for a snack and things. And it's also, I've tried to plan everything so it's easy from the dishwasher to put things away, and I'll talk you through that in a second. Now down the bottom, we've got kind of like casserole dishy things. Now this, I will link, you're not supposed to wobble it. This has been an absolute game changer because like in the last house, I just had to have these sort of stacked inside each other and they were all falling all over the place and it was a nightmare. Whereas this just makes it nice. It sort of just creates more mini shelves. It's just really versatile and it wasn't expensive. So that's what we've got there. Working up to, let's have a look at the worktop, shall we? This is a sparkly quartz. We bought all of the kitchen from Wren Kitchen. I will link a little playlist below from where we go and choose the kitchen and it's being installed and all that kind of stuff. So this is a white sparkly quartz, which I don't know if you can see there, but it is super duper sparkly. Then the tiles, I shall link below as well. I wanted like a subway tile brick effect. And my husband pointed out that when you go for the beveled edge ones, which are just like the ones that like have ridges on them, the switches and the sockets don't sit flush and that can look, sort of spoil the look of it. Because when you look at kitchens in showrooms and things, they don't normally have sockets and switches on them. So the tiles might look amazing until you put one of those on. So he was like, right, we'll go for the same, but we'll go for flat. And it's just achieved the look I wanted without sort of spoiling it with sockets and switches and things. So really pleased with that. And then we've gone for like contrasting grey grout because, you know, it makes it look like bricks. And then I'm literally just going to show you everything as we work around. So this is just an IKEA, I think it's a plant pot. I think it's got a sticker on the bottom. There you go, it's called one of those. I've got these all over the place and they're fab. And that's just to keep my kind of, my Dishmatic dish brush thingy in. And then I didn't want anywhere in the house this sort of disposable plastic hand soaps like we used to have. I wanted to be able to put something out that looked a bit neater and hopefully kind of cut down on our plastic waste and things. I got this as a refillable and we've got different ones in the bathroom. I'm quite pleased with that. It just sort of doesn't spoil the look of anything. Then this is a food waste caddy, which is quite nice because then it's got like a removable dishwashable bit in it. We will probably put a waste disposal unit in there at some point, which just flushes all the food down into the, I don't know, sewers, I guess. We used to have one of those in the last house. But until then, that doesn't look too offensive, it kind of blends with the kitchen. Moving up to the top cupboard, for which I'm going to need this because I'm only 5'4" and I need this to see in the high cupboards. So, I mean, I can see this shelf, I just can't see up to there. Anyway, this is my cleaning product chemically shelf because if we'd had them down there in that cupboard under the sink where you normally would think to put them, we'd have to put child locks to stop the children getting their hands on them. And I know they're of an age where, you know, they probably won't go trying to drink cleaning products, but you just can't be too careful, can you? So we've got them up here out of the way where they can't reach. So we've got some of my faves in here. If you want me to go into like exactly which cleaning products I love and use, I can do that in another video. But basically, long story short, that's cleaning products. Then up here, and this is a theme within the kitchen, I like using baskets because I can pull them down and organise them and then wipe around the shelves and put them back. So this one and this top one are just folded tea towels. so they are easy to grab when you need a fresh one. This is like what they're called minkies and minky rip-off cloths, rubber gloves and magic erasers. And then up here we've got spare rubber gloves and spare the Dishmatic things, which are the heads for those. So these are the slimmer types of baskets. These are like the ones I've got in the bathroom downstairs as well. And I should label that one. Look, I've labelled the others. See, I like these labels. They're like blackboard labels, and they come with these blackboard pens, and you can write on them. These are dishwasher tablets. Pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, having things in baskets definitely makes the shelves, like I would never, I can barely reach that shelf because this is me on the floor. I literally like, can't reach. So when I'm standing on the step, it's still a struggle. So I'd never be able to reach the back of that cupboard without baskets. So using baskets to organise your cupboards, so much easier. While we're up here, let's have a look over here, shall we? Moving the step across. We have got up the top, the children's kind of, these are sort of sports drink bottle things. These just get filled with water and put in the fridge mostly, but when the fridge is full, the spare ones go up there. The children use those for drinking in between meals and for school. And then Zara's got some of these, which are spill proof. Like you can just turn that upside down, and unless the child sucks from it, then nothing comes out. These are kind of saved from when we've had takeaways and things over a period of time. And then I use those for portioning up sort of extra chili or curry or whatever I'm putting in the freezer. And then we've got wine glasses and mugs. You'll probably notice these are all just IKEA ones. They're not expensive ones at all, but I just like the fact you can kind of replace them as and when. Obviously the handles in the same position. Someone who went to the dishwasher didn't do that. And then we've just got glasses and champagne flutes and more of the children's cups. So that's that cupboard. Moving down to under the sink. Under the sink. Yes, I am singing. Oh dear. Right, under here we have got cheeky wipes. So that's a cheeky wipe box, which is actually empty. We've got one here and we've got one actually over there next to the table. And what I do is I just put those into one of these boxes and damp them with a little bit of lavender essential oil. And then the children use those for wiping hands and faces after meals. This basket is the like coverall things that I put over the girls so they don't get sauces and slop on their dresses while they are eating. We've got some hand sanitizer gel. I've got some soaps and things that I bought before we moved when we still were using this type of soap everywhere, but for now we're just decanting those into the soap containers here. But the plan is long term to buy hand soap like that, which works out a bit cheaper, and obviously it's technically less packaging than all these little individual ones. Now this is an old bottle of Child's Farm that I've decanted some of that into because it's easier to pour from that to top up the ones in the bathrooms and things than carry this big old thing around the house. Then back here we've got dustpan and brush, and these are my cloths, which these are my buffeting things, which I put on my feet when I am mopping the floor, because otherwise you get footprints in the mopping the floor and it really drives me nuts. So that kind of like buffs the floor as you are mopping, and they just fit over your feet or over your shoes or whatever. And then in here, this needs a little bit of organising actually. They are kind of Marie Kondo-y folded, but they're all a bit of a mess. Look, they need a bit of a sort. And these are old colour catchers, which are kind of no good for catching colour anymore in the washing machine. So they become mopper, upper type cloths. But I have got quite a lot of these microfiber cloths, but I find if I do like a whole house clean, I go through quite a lot of them. And it's handy to have lots, and then you can do all the cleaning and make sure that as soon as one gets damp or a bit icky, then it can go in a pile ready to go in the machine. They can all get washed and sanitized, ready for using again. So that's there. Moving across to the dishwasher. It is the dishwasher we brought from our old house. Hot point dishwasher. Had it a while, seems to do the job. That's all I have to say about that really. What have we got up here? Oh, it's kind of a don't judge me cupboard. Let's step up. Let's step up on the steps so we can see. So first thing I want to talk to you about are these, which these canisters have been a game changer because you can stack them. I mean, that one's empty, so that's not a very good example, is it? But there we go. You can stack them and they don't look hideous if you do leave them on the counter, other than that one, which is empty because my husband clearly scoffed the Jaffa cakes and didn't refill it. But they are good because you can stack them within the cupboard. I mean, not in this cupboard because this one's a lower one, but in some of the other cupboards I'll show you, I've got them stacked. So yeah, highly recommend those, and they kind of just work by, ta-da! Cool, eh? Poo sweets. There's a story behind these. It's the ones that Zara was allowed to for poo when she was potty training, and now they're called poo sweets, and they are in this like treat jar. So sometimes if I do have to bribe the children, and I know you're not supposed to bribe your children, but sometimes I do, then they get, you know, one of those. So yeah, they are my bribery sweets. Okay, moving up along, we've got kids snacks, which are raisins, and these fruity star things, which are masquerading as fruit, but are probably just sweets, but you know. Then we've got some things for me. I like these as like a little quickie snack, chocolate snack, and these, which I'm underwhelmed by these, but I've still got them that I haven't eaten. And then up here we've got crackers, by which I kind of mean mini cheddars, but they're really good for taking out on walks and things. We've got unopened biscuits that get decanted into the biscuit thing. Oh, someone's left 2, look, and hasn't refilled it. Naughty. But unopened packets of biscuits. Popcorn, my guilty pleasure in the evening. Chocolate. Ooh, chocolate. And then sweets, which don't try not to let the children have too many sweets. Those have actually been sitting there for quite a while. But you know, every now and again after a meal, they do have sweets. They only tend to have like sweets like that at meal, like after a meal, because according to dentists, and a few dentists have told me this, it's better if you must give your children sweets to give them when they're having a meal anyway, rather than throughout the day. And there's spare Jaffa cakes, which need to go into the Jaffa cake container, which I've hidden now. Ah! Moving along, next we have the Extractor Fan and hob. So this is just, it looks like a mirror, but it has got sort of things on it, see? And it goes woo. Anyway, you know what an Extractor Fan is, but yeah, that's quite nice. It is, I'll put the details of what this is in the description, because if I'm honest, I don't know which make it is. I know which make the oven is because it says on it, but no idea which make that is. And then, oh, maybe it's a Nusi, because this is a Nusi. I love, love, love this hob. I'm really, really thrilled with it because it's our first like flat induction hob, and it's so much easier to clean. It's so quick, it's so efficient. I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. My husband wasn't convinced it was going to be the best way to go. I was like, come on, let's do it. I want a flat one, it's going to be easier to clean, and I'm in love with that. Now we get into some big drawers, for which we have got the scissors, which go in the dishwasher. I do use these to cut up the children's food and stuff, and for cooking as well. So all these are kind of kitchen grade, like clean scissors. And then we've just got all our cutlery. These are like the kiddie spoons and things left over from, you know, when they were babies, but they still use those for fromage frais. Spare clippy things and knives. I will link this knife set below because I get asked about it quite a lot. We've also got some wine bottle openers and things in there. Although I must admit, more and more wine these days. It used to be like screw top wine was yicky, but most of the wine is now screw top. Are you finding that? Do you like, when was the last time you used an actual bottle opener, people? Was a while for me. Next drawer down, we've got these like cake containers for when we do baking. These are in a basket. They could do with being a bit more organized, but they're kind of like cooking utensils. These are for baking as well, so that's my little hand blender thing and my weighing scales. This is like picnic cutlery for the children or for eating outside to go with the little IKEA plates. And then we've just got a bit of a mishmash of stuff here which needs sorting, to be honest. And then in this basket, which is overflowing a little, we've got cling film, which I don't use much actually, kitchen foil, which I do use, and sandwich bags, which again, I don't use that much because I do try and use these sandwich boxes, which I shall show you in a second. And then down the bottom, we have got my kind of, these are my microwave steamery things. So that's my rice steamer. This is a microwave steamer, which I actually use to cook pasta in when I'm just doing it for the children really quickly. which is super easy to use. We've got some of these Systema clippy boxes. They are the best ones I've found. They've got like hinged clips on them. Can I show you that? There we go, with one hand hinged clips. There we go. So those are by far the best ones I've found. Then we've got some Pyrex jugs, which everybody needs. Some cheese grater boxes. I mean, you could grate anything with them, but we'll use them for cheese. This pan lid sorter has been a game changer because they used to just be precariously balanced and waiting to smash. So loving that for a bit of drawer organisation. I will link all these bits below, by the way, if you are looking for any. Then this is my pan drawer, pan cupboard, pan pulley outy thing. I did have to buy new pans to come here, which you'll know if you have been following along our little home renovation journey, because it turned out none of my pans, other than this, which is our microwave steamer, so that's ancient, but only this and this big stock pot were compatible with the induction hob, because it turned out it's something to do with magnets and something to do with a type of metal, and none of my existing pans were. So I bought these from John Lewis and they're fab. Really, really pleased with them. And then up top we've got another two. Are these John Lewis ones? Did I go for John Lewis ones for this? Yeah, that's a John Lewis one. That's a John Lewis pan. And I think the wok was Tefal. Was it? Yeah, it's Tefal. But both of them, really great pans. And I had to buy them because the others just didn't work. So, you know, my induction hob was going to be brilliant but useless because I wasn't going to be able to actually cook anything. This pan corner cupboard thing, which again we just got from Wren, is brilliant because otherwise you'd end up with all the stuff stuck in the back of that corner and it would be a nightmare, whereas this can stay quite neat and tidy. So I think that was probably one of the kitchen upgrades that was definitely worth the investment. Well, we're down here, so look in here. Yeah, I was just pulling over here. The only problem with handleless kitchens, oh yeah, in fact we haven't talked about the actual doors, have we? We went for handleless, grey, I don't know, I'll link below what they're actually called. I love the look, but when you first get the kitchen, you're like, which side does the door open? So you have to just try pulling in the middle, and then it's like, oh, okay, it's that way. I totally knew that all along. These are the sandwich boxes I tend to use for the children, so we avoid, where possible, you know, using loads of plastic bags and things, and then they just go in the dishwasher. They're also handy for loads of other things, and we can store toys in them and just all sorts of things. So they were kind of like a pound shop buy, and we've got loads. Then down here we've got baking, like cupcake tray things, cooling racks, we've got baking trays and chopping boards. These are my new chopping boards. My old ones are still really yellowy. I think they were put in the dishwasher with loads of pasta sauce or something, but they went yellow and dodgy. In here we have, not much actually in here, we've got my pizza stacker thing, which is kind of cool. So that goes into the oven to create more layers. Does that make sense? I'm trying to do this with one hand. Trying to do it with one hand. There we go. And then you can stack more things in the oven, because obviously we haven't got 4 whole trays in the oven. And then I bought these, which are heat protection mats, because I don't know how safe it is to put super hot things on white quartz, and the last thing you want, having bought a lovely new kitchen, is to have like heat burn marks. So I thought, better be safe than sorry, slap some of those down before I put hot things onto them. And then this tray thing is from our microwave oven thing, which I shall come up and show you in a second. But first, we come to the kettle and toaster. Now, I didn't want stuff on the worktops. We've not got extensive amounts of worktop space. I wanted to keep it really, really clear, but these are so pretty, I wanted to keep them out. Because originally, I wanted a toaster to just put in a cupboard. I was just going to bung it up there or something, which is why it's on a tray. Well, the reason it's on a tray is twofold. One of the reasons is because I was going to put it away, and the second is to catch crumbs. It makes it easier to sort of clean up. But I will link the tray, because I get asked about the tray a lot, actually. I get asked about the tray almost as much as the kettle and toaster. I will link the tray, I will link the toaster and the kettle. I just think they're really, really pretty. Originally we were looking at Smeg ones, but these worked out as the same price for the kettle and the toaster as one Smeg kettle, and I actually think they're prettier. So that's what those are, and I shall link those below. Let's grab the step again. Let's grab the step again to look up in these high cupboards because, you know, vertically challenged. So here we have a bread shelf with crumpets and croissants and bread rolls and things like that. Then this shelf is baking supplies, which I do store in these, although I must admit some of these are empty, so they could go in the other drawer down there if necessary. And then more baking supplies, more baking supplies. They're all in baskets, so when we are baking, you can just pull them out, easy peasy. And then at the top, we've got medical stuff. So we've got a whole tub of syringes. You get one of these every time you buy Calpol or ibuprofen, and clearly over the years my children have been through a lot of it. And then we've got a mini broken human kit, which has got all manner of first aid supplies in there for just about any ailment you can imagine. And then up top we've got a whole basket of Calpols and ibuprofens and various other medicines and things in there. So it's nice and easy to access. I say it's easy to access. It's easy to access as long as I stand on a step stool. But out of reach of our darling children. Then corner cupboard, which way is this open? Still getting used to it. Corner cupboard is cereal, so we've got unopened cereal on the top too, and then the cereals are decanted into these cereal containers, which I need to label really. Although my husband and my teenager do laugh at me for labeling things when they're in clear containers. They're like, we can just see through. But I like things to be labeled. Call me whatever, but I do. Then in here we've got sort of drinks and breakfast, I guess. So we've got sugar and tea bags in my little stackables and coffee in there. And then up here we've got some peanut butter, Nutella and an unopened jam because I keep open jam in the fridge. And then at the back there's some more tea bags. And then at the top I have got these Exanti burst drinks, which I love. I'm drinking those in the morning at the moment because I am not into tea or coffee. Very unpopular opinion, I know. So I'm really enjoying one of those. I've got tropical and mixed berry. I'll link those below if you fancy giving them a go. While we're up here, oh, see, wrong side of the cupboard. We've been here a month and I still do not know like which way the cupboard, all the cupboards open. Back up on my stool. So this is my husband's coffee machine. It is not the prettiest thing and I didn't want it on the worktop, so it's in this cupboard. And he likes these, they're like pods and you put them in there and then it brings out a latte basically. He used to get like a latte from the petrol station, then coronavirus happened and it's like, you are not going to the petrol station every day for a latte, you're having a laugh. So he's got that, he's using that. And then there's hot chocolate pods up there, which on the weekends the children have those with some little mini marshmallows as a little treat and they love that. Down to our microwave oven and oven. So this is a microwave oven and I wanted this for two reasons. First of all, I didn't want to clutter up the worktop with an actual microwave because it would nick some of our space. And secondly, it works as an actual oven too. So when I'm doing like a roast dinner, and this oven, which is hide and slide, by the way, look at this. I mean, am I the only one who thinks that that is the coolest thing ever? I know, I'm a bit sad, but there we go. Anyway, so when I'm doing a roast or something, I can put the other layer in here too. And I've got layer, and that is like a normal oven, not just a microwave. And then obviously this is a normal oven, which is fab. So I still haven't figured out, I mean, I need to read the instructions. This does a lot of stuff. I think it's self-cleaning. I think that's what that means. If anyone knows a video I can watch about all the fancy features and how to use them on these, so I don't have to read the actual manual, because I know there is a lot of fancy stuff these things do and I don't know about it yet. So right, we've covered here. We're gonna go into the top up here. Now this is a bit Monica cupboardy already. Ugh. Oh dear, it's a dumping ground. So there's a shelf that belongs in the fridge if we don't need. This is a fold up of instruction manuals. So that's where I should look for the instruction manual for the oven, and I should read it and stuff, but I haven't. These are just like ice packs and things that we haven't got in the freezer at the moment, and a whole box of junk that I didn't know what to do with, and some leftover light bulbs and things from when my husband was putting the kitchen together. I don't come up here because, and I don't want to, but at least all that junk is out of the way. Then we've got our fridge freezer, which came from the other house. I shall show you in quickly. We did actually have groceries yesterday, so it's pretty well stocked. We've got things in baskets again. So I've got a basket of cheese, so I can pull that out and arrange which order they need to go into. This is my cheese grater box with actual grated cheese in it. So when the grater lid comes off, you can put one of these lids in and put it in the fridge to keep it nice. Then we've got yogurts, we got lockdown juice, got salad and things, my little Sistema boxes, fruit, smoothies that the children have on the weekends. This is a pull-out thing of yogurts. I just like things in baskets for separation. It makes it so much easier to clean. And this is another can holder thing. You know, Diet Coke is kind of my guilty pleasure. So lots of Diet Coke there. And then we've got these baskets. I will link all these different things below. So these baskets for fruit. This is a banana bag, which I bought in my haul before the lockdown where I went to like Home Bargains and Home Sense. I can't remember which one of those it was from, but watch the video, it's from there. And it means you can keep bananas in the fridge. So they keep a bit longer, but they don't go a funny colour. And then in here, guess what? More baskets. More baskets. It just makes everything easier to take out and clean. Oh, for example, in here, we've got all manner of like potato skank. So that basket is going to be easier to pull out and clean, which I'm not going to do now with one hand. But I can just take that out, sort through the potatoes, clean the basket and put it back in. Easier than having to do the whole drawer every time. Then at the bottom, we keep meat and such. Now I know technically that says fresh, so I guess that means put meat there, and then it says vegetable, vegetable. But I always thought you had to put vegetables above meat in case chicken juice dripped. So I always put meat at the bottom. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's why I do that, just in case of drippy chicken juice. And then we've got wine and milk. We've got my fridge shouting at me because I've left it open too long. Squash jugs that we put on the table. Then all manner of jars and things. Okay, fridge, okay, I'm sure shutting you. And then this is like a water and ice dispenser thingy, which I don't use for the water loads because we use the squash straight in the squash jug, just because practically with 6 of us, it wouldn't be easy to use. But if I'm just making a drink just for myself, especially my Exanti burst drinks, pressed a button, then I do use this dispenser. And then in the freezer, we have got some sort of separation things as well. So we've got breads and pizzas up there. These are the containers I mean. So when I freeze up a portion of things, I shove them in like that. And then just bags of things that I could do with organising actually. This is my Sunday dinner box. So I just pull that whole thing out and it's got all the veggies and things I need in there to do a Sunday roast. And then, that's empty. And then a couple of drawers of bits. I actually need to restock a little bit on freezer things. But I do like using baskets where I can. These are ice lollies and things. And frubes, you can freeze those so that the children can eat them on a hot day. So that's the freezer. Then we've got our kind of pantry cupboard, which is full of baskets. So down the bottom we've got jars and tins and things. I figure they are the heaviest. If they smash, then, you know, not as far to fall and smash the tiles. The tiles, by the way, let's see if I can find a good bit of lighting. The tiles, can you see that, are super sparkly. I will find a link for those and put those below too. I do adore these tiles and they're great with the lights on them. I'm starting to think, was white grout a good idea? Super easy to clean the tiles. White grout's a little bit more of a pain. I've kind of got to go around and clean all the grooves. So I don't know whether perhaps we should have gone for grey grout. I don't know, watch this space. Right, anyway, jars and tins, and then part baked bread in here. More Diet Coke hanging at the back. But again, the whole thing is just a series of baskets because otherwise you can't get to the back of things, whereas it's just easy to pull that out, put it on the countertop and look through what you've got. So more baskets, and at the back I've got like tinned fruit, pineapple and things, but I know I can just whip it out and check what I've got. So these are kind of condiments and things, that's like spices and things, and some stuffing mix. In that one we've got jars of like pesto and chutney and things. And then up here we've got more of my little stacking containers. So that one's empty, so I've wiped the thingy off there. We've got crackers, which is in one of these Systema ones that I used to have before. But this is what I mean, look. They stack nicely when the shelf is big enough. So we've got rice, pasta, all the things. Noodles. Noodles are in one of those, which was originally meant for cereal, but I've put them in that because they don't really fit in these very well. And then we've got crisps in a big basket up here. Again, you can pull them out and look through them. Squash and oils. Back to my step. And then up here we've got wraps in a basket, rice, pasta, and these amazing naan breads also in a basket, because it's easier to pull down, so my little vertically challenged me can find them. Along here, now this isn't staying for good. This is being knocked through to an extension, but obviously not until after lockdown. So we can't exactly have loads of people here helping my husband to do the extension because he can't do it single-handedly. You have to have deliveries and labourers and things. So we have to wait until it is safe. So for now, I've just bought these because I can keep my children alive just about. I cannot keep plants alive for the life of me. These are all plastic and they just add a pop of colour to the kitchen and they were not expensive. And I can just put them in other rooms when this is gone. So all that is going to be like a dining area. It's going at least, I think it's 3 meters out and 3 meters wide. So that'll be our dining table, which is currently over there. So we need to find a 3-piece suite that we like to go in there and put the dining table in the extension. And then I need to find some bar stools for there, but obviously this is too squished up against there. So this needs to come back here a little bit. And then when the extension's there, we'll be able to sit under it properly. But for now, we could budget over this way a little bit. My husband's a bit concerned that we won't be able to open this door and this door. I'll show you what's in here in a second. If we do that, but I want to be able to sit behind it. We have also got power socket under there too, which is where I like plug in my ring lights when I'm filming, and I don't know, you could charge your phone. I plug in the vacuum cleaner, that kind of thing. Around to here, we have got a pull-out bin, which has only just been installed last week actually. Now this has got 3 different types of bins for different types of recycling. The only thing is, it's kind of, when we go to shut it, it's making that awful crunchy noise. I don't think it's supposed to do that, so I'm not sure if that's the bin's fault. I'm pretty sure my husband installed it correctly, but yeah, not sure about that. And then we've got, on top of here, just bin bags and things, so, to refill the bins. So, not sure. I mean, I like the concept of the bin in the cupboard. Not sure about this funny crunching sound, it's only coming from that side, but there we go. Then in here we've got bowls and side plates, and then we've got some like pasta dishes and big plates. And this thing, which my husband did have to bend the legs off slightly so we can make it wide enough for the plates, but that is a shelf from IKEA, which has helped to kind of make another split level there. But the idea is, when you're emptying the dishwasher, then the food is, you know, over there, which you don't need. But from the dishwasher, you're just going to this cupboard and this cupboard mainly. So that's why that's planned out like that. Then over here, we've got my organisation station, which is made up of a little shelf from IKEA that has been painted, a little candle holder from IKEA full of whiteboard pens. This is just a pegboard that I use for photos and that kind of thing for Instagram, but I think it looks kind of cute in the kitchen. And then we've got our meal plan for the week. These are printables, which you can get on the blog post I'm linking below. And these are just frames, and you can write on them with these pens, and then you just get a bit of magic eraser and you can rub off what you've written, and it's super duper easy. So I do the meal plan for the week. The shopping list is just anyone in the family wants anything, they write it on there and I'll buy it. If they don't write it on there, do not whinge when it does not show up with the shopping. And then we've got this week and next week, which is a bit of a joke at the moment because we're in lockdown. So those are just like Zoom classes, but eventually that'll be full of swimming lessons and birthday parties and things. And then this month and next month, I mean, normally it'd be like sports day and, you know, birthday parties and all the things, but at the moment it's looking a bit sparse. But that is my organisation station, which I know will come in extra handy when the children go back to school. The ceilings, just plastered flat with spots in them. And then the additional lighting we've got is this under the kitchen cupboard thing, which is Alexa controlled. So we'll see if Alexa will behave. Alexa, turn kitchen lights off. Ah, she did it. Alexa, turn kitchen lights on. Thank you, Alexa. Does anyone else feel the need to say thank you to Alexa? It's kind of rude if you don't, I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit odd there. And round the corner here from the organisation station, we've got the children's kitchen, which guess what? Is also organised with baskets. I mean, it's not super organised because they're children and they don't put things away in organised ways. But I do find the toy food is easier to scoop up when it's all over the floor and put back in baskets than if we did not have the baskets. So baskets for the win. But other than the chat being a bit wonky because the children have been a bit kind of heavy-handed with it, I think that kitchen, which they had a good few years ago, actually fits quite nicely with our kitchen. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. Just subscribe, which is this button here. And don't forget to hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday at 7 PM. My latest video is just over here. And another video I think you may enjoy from my channel is just down here. I'll see you guys soon.